How are you tonight?
I'm good. How's everybody? Welcome all new board members. Do I gotta hit something on here?
No, I think you just face it towards you. There you
It's
go.
on.
Well, you know I got a big mouth, so. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Carrie DeWitt, 6049 State Route 88. I just wanted to let the township know that I was flooded again early morning Wednesday, April 3rd, around 2:30. And that's the 7th time in 10 years that we've lived in our home. 3rd time with poop. Poop everywhere, health issues, disaster. I called Peters Creek Sanitation to let them know. Once again, we were flooded with poop for the 3rd time. I spoke to Rick Kovac. He sent Bill Fitzgerald out to my home. Bill suggested a backflow valve. I asked about the system getting into the sewers. It shouldn't be happening. Once again, we're stuck with the bill and we get no help. We're currently in the process of putting in the backflow valve. My husband is digging a 5-foot hole by hand in the backyard. We just can't afford the equipment at the time. We added another drain and pipe last year to help keep the rainwater away from the garage door, and we did need professional equipment for that job. Once again, we're always making improvements and ways to litigate and direct stormwater away from our house, in hopes that the township can do the same. I had some pictures first.
Just for the record, she's near Jack Street, on 88, across from John.
Okay.
Yeah, here's some pictures of the inside of the house being flooded this time. That's the poop. I know you can see where the water's coming up through the sewer. And then my next thing I wanna talk about is Jack Street. Here's some pictures of the bridge structure and how defective and damaged the structure really is. I feel that the integrity and the structure of the bridge has been compromised. I've been talking about that bridge for the past several years. I live there, I can hear vehicles riding past, it sounds horrible, even just when a UPS truck rides over top of it, it sounds terrible. The bridge is no longer it needs repaired. Which brings me to the opening of the amount of the water that's passing through the opening at Jack Street. The opening was put in 2018, and it was put in and it served its purpose wonderfully until all the new homes and developments are coming in now. So all this new water, it's like we're back to ground zero again. The amount of water that's coming through, these were pictures taken from before Ida. This is with the new structure, and you can see how much water is exactly in there, and the amount of that, something with that structure has to be done, or definitely looked at. I don't know if it can be repaired. It's starting, and like I said, it's like starting all over again. One more thing that I wanted to ask for the township is, they can put in a curb along Jack Street and maybe possibly a storm drain. I know that several roads along the creek on 88 have storm drains on either sides of the bridge or on both sides. The curb would be an easy fix with a big impact for us because we get flooded from Jack Street. We get flooded because the water builds up and gets blocked, and the water comes up over Jack Street and runs through our neighbor's yard into our yard. And here's some pictures of where I suggest maybe a curb. That would be a quick, easy fix. Anything that Yins can do, I know Yins are so sick of seeing me here. It's the same song and dance. But I think if everybody was in my situation, Yins might be doing the same thing. Or maybe Yins might not, but I have a voice and I'm willing to use it. And any help that I can get from anybody from the township or the sewage company, which I'm glad he's here. He might be able to man in the back. Might be an important meeting for him to be here to listen.
He's with Washington County Switch Council, the septics and.
Okay, you know why too, I wanted real quick, one more thing is, I just wanted to piggyback off of the last meeting. I couldn't come and I wanted to come. There was a woman talking about erosion along the creek beds.
Knee Road.
And look 188 also, the erosion, since we've been there, we've lost feet. And we've only been there 10 years. And once again, who is responsible for keeping the creeks up? Who, are we allowed to go in there and build up the banks? I mean, I have questions. Yeah, see, who is able,
DEP. Washington, I think we had a number of people at the last meeting, and I believe I spoke.
I know, I wanted to come and unfortunately I could not.
Talk to the Washington
Yeah, I talked-
Conservation.
I talked to Matt Golden or whoever, the Ian guy,
Yeah,
and, I told him to give him a call, he had an interest, and he said about moving trees, all that. So, I gave him some information, but I also told him to call him up, which I assume they did, and I haven't heard back from them yet. but-
they did that at a meeting Tuesday, Dennis.
Here?
No, at Washington.
Okay, that's good then.
So is it not true that it's not my property? I do not own the creek, or
The
do
creek
I
is owned
own?
by the Commonwealth,
And what about the water that runs through?
that's their water.
That's their water and their creek. So I own nothing that
You
creek has.
you own the land underneath the creek,
It's their jurisdiction.
is that their jurisdiction?
It's their jurisdiction.
But, ma'am, could you just repeat your address?
It's 6049 State Route 88.
Ma'am, here's what I suggest you do, I mean, and I take your pictures seriously, I really do, I mean,
I had actually already talked to the engineer about the Jack Street Bridge because I had some concerns, because when I was an audience member in 21, they were talking about that bridge.
Yeah, they
having
were supposed to do
problems, and
some rehab. They were
Well,
supposed to be
it was a
$9,000
preform-
or
It
something.
was a preform bridge that they purchased with a few other bridges, and they were saying at that time, I don't know where it went to, because it was 21, I was in the audience, sitting with you, I believe.
Probably.
were-
There
They
were
were
issues
talking
then.
about going back on the people they bought the bridge from.
Yes, and doing some
remember that?
reworking it, yes.
And
But
I
there
don't
was supposed to
know,
be like $9,000, and I think the Hirschman group said that it was only some loose screws.
and well,
I
there
mean,
were
that
board
looks
members
more
talking
than
about the
loose.
water going behind the bridge, and so when we had this flooding, I reached out to TJ and I said, there was a concern a few years ago about Jack Street Bridge.
Yeah.
Erosion, so we had just talked about it this week, I said, take a look at, that's Mr. Emmerich Bridge, or.
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Emmerich Bridge.
Yes.
That bridge was put in 2018.
Yeah.
It was, to my recollection as an audience member, it was, grants were filed by the old engineer before Harshman
And there were
and the other
grants,
board,
yes.
and then they were changed to pre-constructed bridges. Like, it wasn't going to be pre-constructed bridges, and they switched it to pre-constructed. And then there was talk about whether or not the builder of the bridge was at fault, or whether or not it wasn't installed properly.
It was all the above. It's just, we watched it being installed. We watched just the process and how some of the things that were being
So
done
the
were.
initial grants and stuff were filed not for
Yeah.
pre-done,
Cause I'm
pre-constructed
nabbing
bridge.
and I'm nabbing. I have all kinds of pictures. That's all I do is take pictures of the creek.
You live on the corner of Jack Street and 88?
Yeah, you know what? We live right across from Dawn Street. That little brick house that sits right there.
Is it yellow?
Yes,
Resnick's old house.
yes, Resnick's old house.
Okay. I talked to Kenny Puglisi a couple different nights, our road superintendent. We do have action item on a list to take a repair at Jack Street.
That's,
The bridge.
yeah, look at that bridge. Whatever yins can do to.
Yeah, we need a little time because we have, due to the rain we had the last 2 weeks, let's say this is a couple things that sort of jumped ahead of Jack Street. We have road subsidence and things like that. So-
Oh, I'm sure, I know, the amount of rain that comes through here. I just say, any bit of help I can get, I'm looking for any little bit of help, but I'll be back.
Thank you.
Yeah.